Welcome back to our computer science class. In the last video, we discussed a new chapter, data structure. Here, data structure is a specialized format to store and organize a data. Then, the data structure is mainly classified into two types. The first one is primitive data type, another one is non-primitive data types. Here, primitive data types are primitive data structure, non-primitive data structure. Here, the primitive data structures are directly deals with machine level instructions. Directly work with machine level instructions or statements. Then, non-primitive data structure is derived from the primitive data structure. Then, these are the most complex data structure. In the non-primitive, mainly concentrate on grouping of data either in the form of homogeneous or in the form of heterogeneous. Then integer data type, float data type, character, pointers are the example for primitive data structure. Then the non-primitive data structures are again classified into three types: arrays, list and files. Lists are again classified into two types. Those are linear list, linear data structure, and non-linear data structure. In a linear data structure, elements are arranged sequentially. In a linear data structure, elements are arranged sequentially. All elements are of the type homogeneous. All data items are accessed through index value. That is called linear data structure. In a linear data structure, all elements are arranged sequentially one after the other. Then it is a homogeneous collection of elements. All data items are accessed through index value. Then the best example for the linear is array. Array is the best example for linear data structure. Then stack. Stack is also example. Queue. Then linked list. These are the example for linear data structure. Then in a non-linear data structure, there is a more than one possibility to access a next data item. There is a more than one possibility to access a data items. Next data items. Then here data items are not arranged sequentially. Hence these are the non-linear. Elements are not arranged sequentially. There is a more than one possibility to access a next data item. Then tree and graph. Tree and graph are the example for non-linear data structure. Next, in the last video also we discussed operations to be performed on primitive data structure. So in a primitive data structure, there is a four operations can be performed. The first one is create, destroy, select and update. These are the four operations to be performed on primitive data structures. These are discussed in the last video. In this video, we discuss operations to be performed on linear data structure. Here, linear data structures belongs to non-primitive data structures. So, non-primitive data structure. In a non-primitive, here we mainly concentrate on grouping of elements either in homogeneous form or heterogeneous form. Both linear and non-linear also belongs to non-primitive data structure. Here we discuss operations to be performed on linear data structures. Operations to be performed on linear data structure. See the concept. In the linear data structures, all elements are arranged sequentially. All elements are of the type homogeneous, arranged in the form of homogeneous. Then, using index value, you have to access all the elements. That is the definition for linear data structure. The first operation to be performed on linear data structure is traversal. Traversal is the first operation to be performed on linear data structure. Here, traversal means the process to access all the elements from, it is a process to access all the elements from data structure exactly once. Here it is a process to access all the elements. It is a process to access all the elements from the data structure exactly once. That is called traversal. So it is a linear data structure is a homogeneous collection of elements. See here, array is an example for homogeneous collection of elements, and all elements are arranged sequentially. Here there is a 5 elements. Array always start from 0 to n minus 1. There is a 5 elements. What is traversal? We have to access all the data items. Data items are called elements. Elements are data items. Both are same. In array we call it as elements. In that structure we call it as these are the data item. The process to access all the data items from the data structure exactly once, that is called traversal. So there is a first element a of 0, next one is a of 1, next one is a of 2, next one is a of 3, next one is a of 4. So these are the 5 elements. The traversal means you have to access all these 5 elements exactly once, starting from 0 to n minus 1. You have to access 0 to n minus 1 data items. That process is called traversal. That is the first operation to be performed on linear data structure. Next one is insertion. Next operation is insertion. Insertion, it is a process. The process to add new data item. It is a process to add new data item to the existing data structure. Adding new data item to the existing data structure, that is called insertion. It is a process to add new data item to the existing data structure. Here we have to insert an element at the beginning, or we have to insert an element at the end, or we have to insert an element at the given position. So these are the 3 possibilities to add a new item. That is called insertion, adding a new data item. Data items are the elements, adding a new elements to the existing data structure. If it is an array, there is a homogeneous collection of elements. For this homogeneous collection of elements, we have to add a new data item. We have to insert a new data item. That is called insertion. Next one is deletion. Name itself says deletion is it is a removing of the element. So the process to remove a data item from the existing data structure. That is called deletion. It is a process. The process to remove a data. We have to remove the data from an existing data structure. That is called deletion. Here also we have to remove a data from beginning of the data structure, ending of the data structure, or or from the given position. There is a three possibility to remove the data item from the existing data structure. After that, fourth one is searching. Searching. The process to find the location of given data item. Location of given data item in existing data structure. Searching means you will not search any value, you have to search the location of the given data item. So the process to find the location of a given data item, it returns the location of a given data item in existing data structure. The element, that is the data item, must be present in the data structure. We have to return a location of that searching data item, location of the data item. Data items are the elements, location of the element. That process is called searching. Next one is sorting. Sorting. Here sorting means the process to arrange a data item. It is a process to arrange a data item in ascending or descending. Ascending or descending order within the data structure. It is a process to arrange the data item. So homogeneous collection have a set of data items. We have to arrange those data items, existing data items, either in the ascending order or descending order within the data structure. Within the same data structure, we have to rearrange the data items, either ascending order or descending order. That is called sorting. Then last one is merging. The process to add data items from two data structures, two existing data structures. Existing data structure, that is called merging. So these are the 6 operations on linear data structure. These are the important in point of examination. It is asked for 5 marks. What is linear data structure? Write the operations to be performed on linear data structure. It is asked for 5 marks question. Very, very important question. So to write this, first we have to list the operations. Also we have to write a process. See the first one, traversal. The process to access a data items exactly once from the data structure. The process to access a data item exactly once from the data structure. It is called traversal. Then second one is insertion. We have to add a new data item to the existing data structure. That is called insertion. Next one is deletion. The process to remove a data item. The process to remove a data item from the existing data structure. Already there is a data structure. From the data structure, we have to remove a data item. That process is called deletion. This one is searching. The process to find the location of a given data item. It is a process to find the location of a given data item from the existing data structure. See here, all are from existing data structure. There is a data structure, then we have to perform all these operations. So it is a process to find the location or the element, location of the given data item from the existing data structure. That is called searching. Next one is sorting. The process to arrange the data item within the data structure, either ascending order or descending order. It is a process to arrange the data item in ascending or descending order within the data structure. With the same data structure, we have to arrange the data item. That process is called sorting. Last one is merging. We have to create a new data structure, or we have to add data item from two data structures. We have to add a data item from two data structures. Sometimes we have to add data item from two or more data structures. That is called merging. But here at least we have to use two data structures. So data structure have data items. We have to perform operations on data items. The data items are the elements, or data items are the variables. So these are the operations on linear data structure. We have to perform same operations on array, same operations on stack, queue and linked list, because these four are the belongs to linear data structure. Then these are the non-primitive data structure. All linear data structures are non-primitive. So in a non-primitive, there is a grouping of data items either in homogeneous form or in heterogeneous form. So we have to observe that in a non-primitive, there is a group of elements. We have to work with a group of elements. If it is in sequential, then we call it as linear. If it is in non-sequential, but there is a group of elements, then we call it as non-linear. So these are the operations. Let's see the first linear operation example, that is array. Let's discuss a array. Array is discussed in the last year. In the first year we discussed a array, but here also there is a glance about array. We know that array is a homogeneous collection of elements. Array is a homogeneous collection of elements. All elements share the same name. All elements share the same name and same data type. Same name and same data type. That is the definition of array. It is a homogeneous collection of elements. All elements share the same name and same data type. Then there is a three types of arrays. The first one is one dimensional. Second one is two dimensional. Then third one is multi-dimensional. These are the three types of array. One dimensional, two dimensional, then multi-dimensional. Here, one dimensional is array have only one subscript, that is called one dimensional array. For example, integer of a of 20 is an example for one dimensional array. The dimensionality depends on the number of subscripts. Array have one index value, then we call it as one dimensional. Then array have two index values. Array have two index values are called two-dimensional array. Then array of an array is called multi-dimensional, or array have more than two index values are called multi-dimensional array. Array of an array or array have more than one index values are called multi-dimensional array. So these are the three types of array. Then array have some features. Array have some features. The first feature of array is array index value is always positive integer number. Array index value is always positive integer number. See here, 20 is a positive integer number, 5 is a positive integer number, 2 is a positive integer number. The data type of an array index value is data type of an array index value is always positive integer number. Next one is string array. String array is always ended with null character. String array is always ended with null character, that is /n, new line feeder, ended with /n null character. Then third one is array is accessed from 0 to n minus 1. That is array index value is always 0 to n minus 1. Array is accessed from 0 to n minus 1. The index value of an array is 0 to n minus 1. If it is a 5 elements, then it is represented with 0 to 4. If it is a 10 elements, it is represented with 0 to 9. Because n is 10, it is always 0 to n minus 1. It is a fixed index value, always start from 0 to n minus 1. Then arrays are used to represent a multiple reading. It is used to represent a multiple reading. Array is used to represent a multiple reading of elements. Multiple reading of elements. These are the features of array. It is asked for an 2 or 3 marks question. In examination, it is asked for 2 or 3 marks question. Already we know all the features. The array index value, the data type of an array index value is always positive number. Then the string array is always ended with a null character. String is a sequence of characters. The string array is ended with a null character. Array is accessed from 0 to n minus 1. The array index value is always 0 to n minus 1. Array is used to represent a multiple reading of an element. So these are the features of array. Let's see how to calculate a length of a given array. Finding a length of given array. Length of given array. Let A is an array have n number of elements. All elements are homogeneous. Then index value is always 0 to n minus 1. Here 0, 1, 2, 3 means array have 4 elements. So how to find the length of a given element? See the expression. To find the length of a given element, the expression is L equals UB minus LB plus 1. UB minus LB plus 1. Where UB stands for upper bound, LB stands for lower bound, upper bound and lower bound. In this example, 3 is a upper bound, 0 is a lower bound. LB and UB. See here, there is a 4 elements. How to find the length of a given string? So that is UB. In this example, UB value is 3 minus LB value is 0 plus 1, it returns 4. Then the length of a given array is 4. So that is the length. The formula to find the length of a given array is L equals UB minus LB plus 1. So here UB stands for upper bound, then LB stands for lower bound, then there is a plus 1 element because array index values always start from 0 to n minus 1. This is a simple expression to find the length of a given array. Let's discuss the concept representation of one-dimensional array in memory. How to represent a one-dimensional array in memory? In linear data structure, all elements are arranged sequentially. That is, in an array, all elements are arranged sequential memory locations. A is an array. Then array has collection of elements, homogeneous collection of elements. Index values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then all elements are arranged sequential memory location. If it is 100, next one is 101, next one is 102, next one is 103, so on. So all elements are arranged sequential memory location. Like P is the position. P is a position. A is a array. A is a array. Then to find the location of a given element, we have to use the formula location of A of P. To find the location of A of n P element, that is equal to base address of A plus W of base address of A plus W of P minus LB. That is the formula to find the memory of a given element. To find the location of a given element. Where P is a position, A is a array, base of A is a starting address. It is a starting address. Starting address of array. Starting address of array. W is a word length. W is a word length. Okay, then LB is a lower bound. Okay, the formula is location of, you have to find the location of P position. P is present in a sequential memory location. A is an array, P is a position to be searched, base of A plus W of P minus LB. So, base of an A returns the starting address of the array. If you know the starting address of the array, using this address, we have to access all the elements of an array because all elements are sequentially arranged. So, consecutive memory, the elements are stored. Consecutive memories, the elements are stored. If you know the address of the first element, it is easy to access all the memory locations. So, there is a 5 elements. See here, there is a 5 elements. If you find the location of a third element, if it is third element means the position is 2. If the elements are A, B, C, D, E, characters. The elements stored are characters. Then the value of P is 2. Then you have to find the third element. Then the base address which is equal to 100. Word length, here we show the character constant, that is 1. Then lower bound is always 0. To find the location, use the formula location of A of n 2. Location of A of 2, which is equal to our base address is 100 plus the value of the W is 1. Then P is 2 minus 0. Then this is equal to 100 plus 2, that is 102. See here, 102 is the memory address of the given element P. Hence the formula is location of A of P, which is equal to base of an A plus W of P minus LB. That is the formula to access a location of one-dimensional array. Only for one-dimensional array, because in a one-dimensional array, elements are arranged sequentially. They share the consecutive memory locations, successive memory locations. Hence, it is easy to find the location. Let's consider one more example. We have to find the position of the fourth element. Then if it is 4 means P value is 3, because array follows 0 based indexing. Then base address is 501. Base address is 501. Have word length integer type. Integer type have 2 bytes of memory. Integer have 2 bytes of memory. Then P value is 3. Base of address is 501. Say W is 2. Lower bound is always 0. Find the location of P. How to find location of A of 3? Location of A of 3. You have to find the address of fourth element. Base address is 501. Word length is 2. P is 3 minus of 0. Why it is 2? Here the data type is integer. Integer reserves 2 bytes of memory. Character reserves 1 byte. Float reserves 4 bytes. Double reserves 8 bytes. That is the word length. The data type size itself is a word length. Then which is equal to the starting address base address is 501 plus 2 of 3 minus 0, that is 6. Which is equal to 507 is the address of the third element. How it is? See here. There is an array. Have n number of elements. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Then array of type integer. Hence each element consumes 2 bytes of memory reserves, 2 bytes of memory. Starting address, base address is 501 and 502. It is an element first. 503, 504. Then 505, 506, 507, 508, 509, 510, so on. So these are the memory locations. So starting address is 501. We have to find the location of fourth element. How to find? Using base address 501. We have a word length to see the position. So 507 is the location of the fourth element. So 507 is the location of fourth element. If it is a one-dimensional array, it is easy to identify the location of given element using a formula. Location of A of P, which is equal to base of A plus W of P minus LB, where P is the given position, A is the array, base of A is a address of the first element. Base of A is a address of the first element. W is the word length. The word length is the data type of the array. P is the position. LB is the lower bound. It is a memory representation of one-dimensional array. Let's discuss operations on array. Operations on array. Array is a linear data structure. Hence, all linear operations can be done on array. All linear operations are done on array. So linear operations are, first one, traversal. What is traversal? The process to reach or access all the elements exactly once. It is a process to reach or access all the elements of an array exactly once. That is called traversal. Next one is insertion. The process to add new element to the existing array. That is called insertion. Third one, deletion. The process to remove a element from the existing array. Then fourth one, searching. The process to find the location of given element. That is called searching. Then fifth one, sorting. The process to arrange elements in array. The process to arrange elements in an array, that is called sorting. Then last one, merging. Say merging, it is a process. The process to add elements from more than one array, or add a element from two arrays. That is called merging. So these are the operations on array. See here, operations are traversal, the process to reach or access all the elements exactly once. Then insertion, the process to add new element to the existing array. Here we use a word elements. In a data structure we use data items. We are in array, discussing in array, hence we use a word elements. So the process to add new element to the existing array, that is called insertion. The process to remove the element from the array, that is called deletion. The process to find location of a given element, that is searching. The process to arrange the element in a array. Here either ascending order or descending order, that is sorting. Next one is merging, the process to add element from more than one array, or we have to add element from two or more arrays, that is called merging. So these are the operations on one-dimensional array. Let's discuss a first operation, that is traversing or traversal. Here traversal means accessing all the elements of an array exactly once. Accessing all the array elements exactly once. That is called traversal or traversing in array. To write a traversal algorithm, let us see the algorithm. To write a algorithm, it needs a array. Let A is a array. Let A is a array have n number of A is a array have n number of elements. LB and UB are lower bound and upper bounds. Lower bounds and upper bounds. Then the following is the algorithm. Following is a algorithm to traversal in array. See here, step 1 for we have to traversal from location which is equal to lower bound to upper bound. Say always the traversal from 0 to n minus 1. So that is called traversal from lower bound to upper bound. Process A of location. Then end for step to stop. This is a simple algorithm to traversal in array. Just we have to traversal from lower bound to upper bound. Process A of location. Here process means it is any operations on array element. So for example, to find the biggest among array elements, to arrange the array elements, then to search a location of the element. So in that we have to access all the array elements. How to access? Say we have to access a element from 0 position to n minus 1 position. So that is the for loop. Location equals lower bound to upper bound, LB to UB. Then process stands for any operations on array element, that is A of location. Location identifies the each elements of an array. End for stop of the algorithm. This is a simple algorithm for traversal. It is asked for 2 marks. Write the algorithm of array traversing. In a data structure, in point of examination, most of them ask for an algorithm, not program, ask for an algorithm. You have to practice algorithm very carefully. First we have to write the definition. What is traversal? Accessing. It is a process to access all the array elements exactly once. We have to access all the elements exactly once. Only once we have to access array elements. How to access? Array have sequential elements. Array elements are arranged sequentially. It is a homogeneous collection of elements. Then all elements are stored consecutive memory location. Hence we have to traversal from lower bound to upper bound. We have to access a single element. For that single element we have to apply any operations. The operations we call it as process. It may any operation. Process A of location. Let's see a program. If you read and print the array elements, itself is a process. Read and print array elements itself is a process, because to read a array element we have to access all the memory location one by one. To print the array elements, again we have to access all the memory locations one by one. Hence to read and print array elements, it is also a traversal. Let's write a program. To traversal in array. Program to traversal in array. So first write the include statements. Then write a program. Here programs are written without classes and object. Without classes and object. So declare a array A of 20 and n I value. Array n and I are common for all the array programs. CLR, SCR to clear screen. Cout is the object followed by insertion. Enter how many elements. Enter how many elements. Then cin extraction n. First we have to read the n value. After that array elements. Read array elements. That is enter a array elements. Enter a array elements. How to read? We have to access all the memory locations exactly once. For that, for I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. That is the for loop. Starting from lower bound to upper bound, 0 to n minus 1. Cin extraction A of I value. I represents the location. A is a array, I is the location. A of I value. Then to print the array elements, again we have to traversal in array. So entered array numbers or array elements. Array elements are, to print the array elements, again we have to traversal in an array. How to traversal? Using for loop. For I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Here process, in the place of process, we insert cout A of I value, move on to the next line, again E and DL. Close the program. Okay, see the algorithm. Algorithm have for location which is equal to lower bound to upper bound, process A of location, and for this is the algorithm. See here, for location lower bound to upper bound, here we use the for loop I equals 0, I less than n, I plus plus. In the place of an process A of location, here we use cin A of I. In the place of A of location, we use cin A of I. Then again once we use the same traversal method to output the array elements. The for loop is same, but in the place of process, here we use output statement cout insertion A of I. To read the element we use cin, to print the array elements we use cout. So cin and cout are the process. So general algorithm is we have to traversal from location equals lower bound to upper bound, process A of location. It is a simple example for traversal in a array, traversing in a array. In the next program, I have to write a algorithm for searching array elements. Thank you.